session.
Ooh.
Today, no, seriously, first of all, there may be people, we might have people who have never heard um, Sis Abby on
Wow.
Hangout session, but she is the original guest barrister, original. And today, I'm sure even from the conversation that you listened to, I'm sure you know that it's going to be a fun day. She's just amazing. She's my big sis. So sis, welcome back to Hangout Cafe.
It's so good to
Drum
be
rolls.
back. Virtual hugs. Remember
Virtual
virtual hugs?
hugs.
Do you still give them? Yeah.
Please show her some love, blow her some kisses, let her know that we've missed her.
Right,
Come on,
right back
folks.
at you. Right back at you.
Yay!
Oh, FNI is on.
She's down
Oh,
to earth. That's right. She's down to earth. No airs. Yes, that's it.
thank
Absolutely.
you.
Down
Thank
to
you.
earth, sis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can count on her to have a laugh. No dull moment when she's on. No
Thank
dull
you. Thank
moment
you
at
so very
all.
much. Thank you.
It's
Thank you
just
all.
simply
Thank
amazing.
you. I receive all the love. I showed you.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
See all the
Thanks, Lily.
love. See all the
Wow.
hugs.
Thank you. Thanks, Pastor Lamide. Thank you. Thank you.
So, sis, today
We? Mm-hmm.
we're talking about in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle. So yesterday, when we were doing the sound check, we asked a few people who joined us. We
Mm-hmm.
said, "What does in the
In my
middle?" When you
notebook.
hear that statement, what does in the middle mean to you? So before Sister Abby starts to talk, what do you think? What do you guys think? In the middle, when you hear that, what do you think it means? What do you think we're going to have? What do you think we're going to talk about today? What do you think this conversation is going to be about? So we're waiting in the middle. What does that mean?
So please populate the chat.
Yes,
So when
please.
you hear in the middle, what does it mean? And there are no right or wrong answers, just your answers. Middle age.
Middle age.
Okay. I'm gonna make a note of that.
Middle age. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Middle of what? Okay. Middle age, midlife,
Midlife. Halfway through.
middle of a storm. Okay. Hmm. Where people lose hope and dreams die. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Without hope.
Wow. Wow.
Hmm. Okay. Neutral. Okay.
Neutral.
Sorry if we're not catching the chat, you might have to just put it in again.
Middle.
Uh,
Let me go back.
middle.
Somewhere in
Okay.
between.
The midpoint. So the question is for those just joining, when you think about the phrase in the middle, what comes to you? And there are no right or wrong answers. It's just, your answers, yeah, or your response. In the middle, midlife, the waiting period. Okay, wait. So near yet so far.
Mediator.
Somewhere between the promise and its realization. Thanks, Sister Joker.
The middle point of usually
Promise.
generally accepted sides.
Average. Okay. These are some nice
On
on
the
the
way
way.
to achieving your dreams, aspirations.
Good. Mm. Promise. Rock and a hard place.
The binder. Okay. Thank
Nice.
you. Thank you so much. Centered.
Centered.
Okay.
Auntie Berai in Port Harcourt already. Transitions.
Transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good word. Halfway to a place. Okay.
Warmth in the middle. Yeah. Like that. Halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway.
Okay. Good. 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 Good.
Okay.
Mm.
Any more?
Mm-hmm.
We have quite a few, and then the ones that were sent yesterday.
Yes. Do you want to go through them?
I didn't
Do
write
you,
it
do you
down
have?
yesterday. You did.
Okay. 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 So in the middle, so we did like a trial run last night, and so words that came up. Just arrived. Okay, thank God. Is stagnation,
Mm-hmm.
distraction, middle, um, halfway completing a task, an assignment. I think that was from now. But stagnation, distraction, the middle can be distraction. Those are some of the in between phrases: undecided, core, neither here nor there, in between stages, unsure, undecided. Yeah. So those were some of the answers that we got yesterday when we did a trial run. Yeah. So.
Okay, so sis, in the
Mm-hmm.
middle, tell us about this. In the middle.
Okay. I think what inspired this theme, or and we're going to try and build a conversation around it with obviously everyone at the Hangout Cafe participating by populating the chat, is that sometimes we feel that we are in the middle, and it means different things to different people.
Yeah.
So even just looking at the various words and phrases that we have here, it could be, for some it could be stagnation, right? So it means I'm actually not going in anywhere. I feel stuck, right? And then for some, it could be I feel redundant, right? For some, it could be I'm in the middle, but that means I'm almost there. I'm almost there. For some, it could be transition. Now, transition has, transition can be exciting, but it can also be daunting,
Yeah.
right? And when you say you're in transition, it's like what comes to my mind is, okay, let's say we're traveling from London to Los Angeles, but via Frankfurt, right? Frankfurt is you're in transit, and so we're not supposed to get stuck, no matter how nice the lounge is or the duty-free shopping, or whatever, it is like at some point I want to get out of this transit
Yeah.
place
Yeah.
and go to my destination,
Yeah.
right? So those are some of the, and then another word is a rock and a hard place. For some, it's like it's a hard place. Some think about being in the middle in terms of chronology. So we're looking here, one or two people put midlife.
Yes.
Interesting enough, I was reading something the other day and it said, there can be a midlife crisis, but there can even be an early life crisis. So we're finding, for instance, that even people in their 20s who have gone to school, they've got their education, they've got their skill, they're applying for jobs, they're not quite getting the jobs they want because in the middle means we've been 2 years in a pandemic, and it has a fallen effect on how people work and live and whatnot, and so there's a crisis as a result of that. So it's not just a midlife crisis, but even in the mid-20s there can be a crisis. Did you want to respond to that?
No.
Sis? Okay, I saw you nodding away. Yes.
I remember the lady that you said you saw somewhere.
Oh yeah, in the
Said,
park yesterday. Was
the
it?
one who said no, she said she didn't know what she was doing with her life or what she's done with her life. The young lady, I think.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And so you're finding a lot of young people, because of expectation, in the middle can be expectation. Somebody said, without hope, right? So for some people, being in the middle, the experience is without hope. So yes, yes. Now I remember, I went to, yes, I was in the town center yesterday and walked into a shop. So one of the lovely young ladies that attended to me, just 22 years old, and we're just talking, and she says, I don't know what I've done with my life. I said, but you've done so much. I don't know her from Adam. I said, you're alive. She says, I have a little girl. I said, that is plenty. I said, you're holding down a job. And you could see her face, just lighten up, because, we spoke, into her life.
Yeah.
And I said, and apart from that, you've got your life ahead of you.
Absolutely.
And don't even think the next decade. Just think the next 10 months.
Yeah.
And have an expectation around that.
Yes.
Thank you for even being here to attend to me.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, she said, but I never finished university. I said, but guess what? I'm getting ready to go back to university at age 63. I said, so we keep learning. She said, really? I said, yes. And, and honestly, she just felt a bit better. She's in the middle. Right. And sometimes, when we're in the middle, let's invite other people to be in the space with us, to be in the middle. Right. And we can, and let's receive affirmation. And, for some of us, let's give the affirmation in the middle. So when somebody says, I don't know what I've done with my life, it's not to agree and say, in fact, me too, I don't even know what I've done with my own life. And I'm not talking, I learned a new word the other day. It's called toxic positivity. And that's not what we're talking. Exactly. You know, all these people, they always come up with all these phrases, big grammar, At home, we call it EBA, another EBA, you know. So EBA is a way of saying too much English. But anyway, toxic positivity, which I actually saw on Tranquil, I can't remember her first name. She's been on, anyway, I saw it on her Instagram page, is this attitude of always being positive and not allowing people to express how they really feel.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yes. And so it can be toxic because it's almost like shaming your negativity.
Yeah.
So I don't feel well. I'm blessed and highly favored,
Mm.
And so what happens is that you're not given permission to express your authentic emotion.
Mm.
And so being in the middle means I can express my authentic emotion.
Yeah.
Don't try and just, just give me some trite reply. How are you? I'm blessed and highly favored.
Mm.
Yeah, I know you're blessed and highly favored, but how are you?
How are you? Yes.
How are you?
Yeah.
So apparently the phrase is toxic positivity. So it's positive, but it's toxic because you're saying suppress how you really feel, right?
And sis, let me go back to the young lady. I love what you did with her, because the easiest thing would have been for you to laugh and say, "At your age, what are you talking about?" But you left her feeling better than when you met her. That was amazing. Well done.
Thank
sis.
you.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you. And then another little story.
Yeah.
At the other end of the spectrum, so here's a 22-year-old who says, I didn't go to university, I didn't go to college, but, I will go back. And I encouraged her, I said, please, when you're good and ready, do go back. And, you're a clever girl, because the way she even attended to me, you've got gifts and talents. So please go into that space and do that. And I said, you're raising a child. I could tell she was a single mom, and I said, thank you. Tell me about your daughter, and all of that, So it was lovely. Now, at the other end of the spectrum, one of the lads from church, will sometimes go into the local park to walk, right? Which is sometimes what we do. We just go on a little prayer walk. And then, so on my way back from the town center yesterday, he bumps into me and he says, oh, remember that guy who sits on the park bench and plays the clarinet? I said, yes. I remember even, chatting with him, once or twice. I said, I spoke to him today. Okay. And I said, really? Is he still there? And you know how you see somebody, how, profiling, we profiling, we all have a subconscious bias. Yeah. So once you see somebody with an instrument playing in the park in the middle of the day, or on the London Underground, you immediately think, what do they call them? Buskers?
Yes, I think so.
Is that the word?
Yes.
Yes. And then if the instrument case is open, you drop a little, Guess what he said to me? He said, Pastor, he said, that guy is actually an investment banker. I said, what? He said, yes. He said he works from home. He says, but sometimes, just being at home and all of that gets a bit, especially in the pandemic. Yeah. So he used to just come to the park and he will play. I'm like, oh my God, I'm sure I've dropped 2 pounds. I've dropped money inside his case. I said, is that? He said, yes. So I said, really? I said, oh my word. And anyway, so we just went on and we had a chat. And then thereafter, I was like, well, anyway, let's go back to the park because I feel like an ice cream. Even though I'm lactose intolerant, but I was just going to suffer. Anyway, so we went back to the park. And guess who we saw? We saw the investment banker pulling out in his convertible 5 Series BMW, the roof down and going off. And I was like, oh my God. In the middle, I built up this story thinking, the guy probably doesn't have a job. He's just there playing his instrument. No, he was just having a jolly good break.
That's a good story. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So back to our bias. So yes. So in the middle of a working day, we give ourselves permission to break.
Yes.
In the middle doesn't mean I am undecided. And even if I am undecided, there's so much transition around us, so much. A lot of people I'm talking to, there's a transition. It can be exciting, it can be daunting, and all of that. And so there's a lot of that. So I wonder, the lens you use really matters, yes. And the lens that we use, not just for other people, but for the way we look at our own lives.
Yeah. Yes.
What is the lens in which I'm looking at being in the middle? In the middle. So, Auntie Funke, over to you.
Interesting. Talking about the lens that we use, sometimes I think it's almost like we borrow other people's lenses
Mm,
So
that's a good
I can
one.
imagine, sis, I don't know what the strength of your glasses is, but I think yours is definitely different from mine. So you can imagine
Mm-hmm.
trying to see through yours.
Thank you.
Could it work, as they say?
Could it work? Yeah,
It wouldn't.
yeah,
It wouldn't.
yeah. So I think that's important. What lens, is there a prejudice? Is
Yes.
there fear? Is there, and even good lenses. If even if the lens of a season that was good, sometimes the season comes, to an end, and it's to relinquish that season,
Mm.
right? And say, well, that one is definitely is winding down, and to adjust the lens and see. Yeah. I'm trying to see some of the notes that we made. Any more
So
comments?
how many people actually are
Hmm.
in a transitional period right now? How many people?
Yeah, and why? And
And
what are
why?
they doing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What does it feel like? If you can please put it in the chat for us.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Hmm. Need to be aware of our biases and be able to manage them. Yeah. Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Well, is
okay.
that a yes? Are you in a transitional period?
Mm,
Yes, great comment. Transitions are always happening in our lives. Absolutely.
yep, yep. I think we're always in transition. It's
Yeah.
almost as if it's a constant, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it is. And so for me, when I'm in transition, I try to take some of the lessons of the past,
Mm-hmm.
whatever those lessons may look like, and use that as an anchor for the next transition. So faith is always important, as a Christian, as a woman who is a believer.
Yes.
I try to rehatch, if I can use that word, some of the experiences, but in a faith lens. If I went through that, if I did that, then it means whatever is ahead of me, I need courage for it, but it can only be good.
Mm-hmm.
It can only be good. So that's one of the ways that I personally manage, my
Transition.
transition in my body. Um, oh, I can give you one about transition in my body. I can still see the shop, on George Street, and this shop always sold trousers with elastic,
Okay.
okay, so in other words, it was for the older woman, and it had chubby heels. Guess who is in that place now? Me. All my trousers has elastic. Oh, talk of which, remember what you posted about the dress that you wore 10 years ago?
Yes.
And
Yes.
our bodies are in
I've
transition.
already died. Do you know, it's interesting. I have a function this evening. And sis, you won't believe, I woke up, I was starting to think about what I'll wear. Then I thought,
Yeah.
I, I want to wear trainers. I don't want to wear shoes this evening. I
You
think
better wear
it's
trainers, oh. You better wear
because
your trainers.
seriously, all those heels and all of that. Oh gosh, I don't want to. I mean, that's this
Yeah.
period where I want to wear loose clothes. I don't want
Yeah.
anything hugging my body. I want
Yeah.
trainers. I just want to be
Yes.
comfortable.
Yes. Yes. Talking about trainers, Sister Wings, we're definitely going to talk about the sandwich generation. We're going to define that, in a minute. But talking about trainers, my son got married recently. A shout out to
Yes,
TJ and
TJ.
Tamara,
Yes.
and guess what? My feet swell in the heat. So the wedding was in Texas, in Houston,
Yes.
and because we traveled, and when I travel, long distance, I retain water quite a bit, so my feet swell. So I couldn't get into my shoes,
Okay.
right? So of course, on the day of the wedding, I had my trainers, which I was going to change into much later.
Right.
The mother of the groom, on the arm of my dearest brother, we walked down the aisle, and I had on my
Train.
trainers. It's just I don't want to get up. I had on my trainers. In fact, my friend Carol, when I walked in, her face dropped. We're exactly the same age, and she's still struggling on all her stilts and whatever. I'm like, Carol, I am not doing that. I was so comfortable. I had on my fascinator, my lovely dress, and I had on my trainers. Oh my goodness. Talk about statements, so release myself from, yeah. One of the what do you call it? The tennis player, was it Serena, who Megan and Harry's wedding, she actually had trainers under her dress. She said,
Ah.
those cobblestones in Windsor. And you know, she's a tennis player. Let me tell you what the insurance on her ankles may be. She said she wasn't joking. No, she had on trainers. You know, she was definitely, she couldn't afford to break a leg, you know. So yeah, comfort is important. So body, and to recognize that our bodies go through transition. Some of us monthly, you know, and all of that at certain times of the month, even men. So we're not just talking, you know, to female. So to recognize the transition. Can we talk about something? Sister Lincoln put something up which is important. There's something called a concept called the sandwich generation, right? And the sandwich generation is, it's you know, the way I describe it is you're taking care of younger children, right? Or you are you know, and then you also have older parents, and then so you're in the middle. So you have the generation before, you have the generation after, and you are in the middle. And usually it's for people, let's say in their 40s and 50s, where, you know, you're at a space where you're actually in the sandwich generation. So I am definitely a sandwich generation, where even though I have young adults as children, right, and you know, I'm not taking care of them, but I'm still responsible for them or still engaging with them in their space. And yet I still and then I have parents. Both my parents are still alive by God's grace and still there. So I'm a sandwich generation, and it's a blessing, but it can also have its challenge, you know. So while you're, you know, there, you know, catering to the needs of your parents, you know, whatever it may be, even if you're just checking on them or whatever, but here you are in the middle. And I think that's something that we also, it's part of the transition, you know. It is. Yeah, you know, so, you know, marrying, you know, starting family is transition. Children going to school for the first time, it's a transition. You know, emptiness, the other end of the spectrum, you know, where the house is now empty. It's another form of a transition. Yeah. So it's in the middle.
Sis, someone had sent in a question.
Okay.
What would you suggest are ways to handle in the middle seasons? Practical ways to handle in the middle seasons.
Okay. One of the things we talked about was the lens. What lens? How am I looking at in the middle season of my life? Whatever that may be. In the middle, maybe I'm between jobs, right? Or I'm starting a new job, right? I'm in a new relationship, you know. Unfortunately, I've just gone through a divorce, you know, or I've just married, you know. So as I think it was Sister Joke that said, we're always in transition, you know. So what are the practical ways? I think number one, we handle it with faith, you know. I think faith is very important. Yes, you know, faith, you know, and then we handle it with grace. Okay, so this is a gift. In the middle can mean about creativity, you know. It can be a new way of doing things. It can be opportunities. It can also be, it's also to recognize the closed door and to leave it closed. It can be about decluttering. I'm in a season now where the month of May, you know, I can't get into those clothes. I be get over it. Those days are over. You know, the ankara with the peplon, I can't even pull up the zip. You know, somebody said, when are you going to flatten the curve? Well, I'm just going to have to mask it with some elasticated trousers and some trainers. You know, it is what it is. You know, and I hate girdles. I don't wear girdles. Sorry to be so disclosing, because it makes me feel like I'm moonwalking on, you know, Apollo 14. You don't be bouncing and you can't breathe, right? So my dresses have to be flowy, or the tummy is just big. It is what it is. And I can just look at the old pictures of the flat tummy and all of that. Those days are over for me personally because of my hormones, my genes, and whatnot. So be creative. So a sense of fashion in terms of body, you know. So I don't know what your transition may be for the person that had asked that, but it is to actually own it and to say, this is a gift, and how am I going to manage this, you know, this transition, right? And whatnot, you know. So yes, somebody I see the face. Too many girdles. Yeah, me too. I can't stand girdles.
Well, I think I wore my first girdle, well, since the pandemic. Last week.
Wow.
Well, it wasn't comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, and the hormones, and to realize that the hormones, you know, this is what's going. Yes, you know, it's all right. Oh gosh, Pastor David has joined anyway, just in time to hear about the girdles. That's one of our trustees. Yes. So
But
there
I
you
love
are.
what you
So
said, sis, about
mhm,
acknowledging you're in the middle.
yeah.
Acknowledge it, own it, and also own it.
And own it,
The other
you
thing you
know.
said, sis, which you have mentioned now, is that there's no distraction. The middle, in the middle, is not a place of distraction. Can you speak
Yeah.
into that?
Yes, please. So being in the middle is I don't need to distract myself.
Mm.
I don't need to break the speed limit to try and fast track this middle.
Yeah.
I'm going to be present
Mm-hmm.
in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be present. My emotions,
Yeah.
I'm going to be present, you know. So, and I'm not going to fast track it. This is it. I am in the middle. So it's important that we're present because you know what? It's going to pass. It's a transition.
Yes.
Remember the example that we used about being on the flight and being in transit.
Yes.
You know, so while I'm there, I can enjoy the, you know, the duty-free shopping. Even if I'm not buying, I
Yeah.
can just, window shop.
Yeah.
You know, if I have access to the lounge, you know, I can go there
And
and have a meal, you
yes.
know, or whatever. I can read a book. I can, okay, now that I'm off the aircraft, you know, I can catch up. But I'm going to be present in the middle,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And not just fast track it. So there's no point in being 20 and wanting to be 30, right?
Yes.
Okay, one of my dearest friends, we have a way of counting our ages forward. And a lot of people think, why do you do that? So for instance, I'm not saying I'm 63. I'm saying I'm 7 years from 70, right? I love it. You know, I'm in the middle.
Yes.
I'm 7 years from 70, right? So I'm in the middle. And that way it makes me say, you know, be present for
Be
63,
present. Yes.
be present for
Enjoy
66,
63 instead of
enjoy, yes, enjoy
yeah.
26.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because one thing that is constant is that it's change. We keep moving, you know. I'm not going to be stagnant. I've got to give myself permission,
Yeah.
you know, to be present, you know, do what you need to do, but keep it moving. Keep it moving because it is in the middle. You know, somebody said in the middle is about, you know, I look at the past and I'm a bit frustrated, you
Mm.
know, in terms of it's not quite what it was. One of my favorite, you know, sayings, which I say to myself, is I died to the way I thought it would be. I thought it would be
I
like
love
this.
that. I love that.
Yes. Yes, I died to the way I thought it would be. I relinquish it. Well, it didn't pan out quite the way I thought it would be. So let it go.
There you go. And stop holding on to that.
Yeah. Let it go. It's okay. It's okay. We've had a good cry. We've done the pity party or we've celebrated. But you know what? You know, we're not going to be here forever. We've got to
Yeah.
keep it moving.
No.
Yeah. So change is inevitable indeed. Being present, being grateful for the season, being excited. Yes, anticipation, being excited, being creative. You know, go and learn a new craft, a hobby, go back to school, make a new friend,
Yeah.
you know, change a hairstyle, buy a new toothbrush, rearrange the furniture.
Yeah. We've had a few people answer that question. Recognize that you can do it. Prioritize what's important, urgent or not urgent.
Mm-hmm.
Find people who are like-minded and exchange notes.
Yeah.
Love yourself in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the moment, like you said, and don't
Mm-hmm.
despise it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah. I love what you said. I will die to the way I thought it will be.
Yes, I'll die to the way I thought it would be. Yes. Yeah.
That's
There's so much. There's so much that I thought it would be, but I died to it. You know. Oh, I thought by now, I would have done X, Y, Z. You know, but it didn't happen. So am I? So I died to the way I thought it would be.
But sis, where did we
Hmm?
get? I think I asked you this before. How did you get to that place where we put ourselves under so much pressure? I have to
Yeah,
be
we had
married
a.
by 25. I marry, I have a child immediately, or I finish school, I get a job. How did you get yourself into that space?
Because it seems that it's even when we were in the womb,
Yeah.
it was all about measurements
Mm,
and trimester. Oh, now we're in the first trimester, in the second trimester.
yeah.
Oh, it's all about and you know, God knows, you know, if you get the heart of what I'm saying, I'm not saying that measurements are not good,
Right.
but it was always about measuring, you know. Oh, you know, so the baby has come out, you know, the baby now sleeps through the night.
Mm.
Our lives have always been measured,
When
you
did your
know.
baby start to walk?
When did baby start to walk?
Mm.
Is your baby not walking?
Mm.
How come your baby is not talking?
And she started solids.
She started solids. What solids is she having?
Yeah.
So we've always been measured.
Yeah.
And so there's a wiring, in our psyche about measurement. And then I don't know if you remember where when we were growing up, we had a way of marking our heights on the
Yes,
wall.
on the wall.
Yes, and all of that. So there's something about being measured, right? I think it's important that we throw away the tape rule.
True.
Because the measurement talks about doing rather than being. Yeah, it talks about doing, and so you're measured to, and then we are reward for those. Yes. So that's what it is, even from the womb.
Yes.
It's and like I said, there's nothing wrong with that per se, but sometimes we're in the middle. And the tape rule, actually, it can't be measured, it can't be weighed, it can't be cut and spaced. It's just in the middle.
And something
how big is your church? The worst question anybody can ask me is, how big is your church? How many numbers, in my line of work, how many were in church today? How many responded to the altar call? As if in heaven they have a flip chart, a flipping flip chart, and it's like, you're a great pastor. Yes. Because just we measure. Measure. And I just said, no, I'm getting off this treadmill of being measured. I'm not measuring myself against myself or against the other person. Oh, how many grandchildren do you have now? I'm like, really?
When are you getting married?
How many A-stars?
Yeah.
When are you getting married?
When are you having children? Even when you have, how many are you going to have? Just two?
Just two?
Or one?
Or one? When are you changing your car?
When are you changing?
You mean you'll be driving the same car? When are you going on holiday?
Yes.
So which
university or which school is your child going to?
Yeah. So we're constantly being measured. And
I love what Bumi said. The standards of measurement are fictitious, always shifting, and it's exhausting. Yes.
It's exhausting.
What age did you get married? Yeah.
What age did you get married? What age did you get married? And so we come to, it's a kind of profiling. We do it to ourselves. And that's not to say don't have goals and ambition and whatnot. But for everybody that's on this call, we're in the middle. Sometimes even all of that, a pandemic threw it out of sync.
Yeah. Yes.
It threw it out of sync.
Actually, it did. And let's not go back.
If we can help it, yes. How are your in-laws? That's a good one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for today we're saying, it's in the middle. We own the space. We're creative there. We're present. And we're throwing out the tape rule.
I love that. Throw away the
throw away the tape rule. Yeah.
And let that dress go. That's another one.
Yeah, let the dress go. Whatever the dress represents to you, let it go. Let it go. Yeah. It's not wastage.
No. Give it to someone else. Give it to charity or recycle it. Give it to take it to a place where it can be recycled. It's not wasted.
Yeah. It's not wasted. Bury it. Just let it go. Yeah.
Oh, did you just say bury it?
Yes.
That's another thing. There's some things we need to bury.
Yes, and that's it. And don't exhume. Yes, don't exhume. So yeah. So it'll be interesting to ask our friends online, what are they doing in the middle? What is the one thing that you will do in the middle? If you can please put it, and do is not by measurement.
No.
Somebody says be vulnerable. I like that. Look at this woman, Brené Brown. She's created a whole, industries, what I'm even going to say, around being vulnerable and no shame.
Yes.
And it's like, wow, and so what is the attraction? What is the magnet towards her conversations and even to that industry? Is because we have a generation right? Who we've been subsumed in shame,
Yeah.
and we're not allowed to be
Yes.
vulnerable.
Yes.
But it's not. I'm not even talking about reality TV, where the other extreme, where and then my mom would say, "Don't wash your dirty linen outside." Where we're just letting everybody. My daughter would say, "Mom, everybody's on the spectrum." We're just telling our story and bringing it out there, and and we're not stewarding our stories, because it's not everything that needs to be out there.
No.
So there's another generation where oh, this has been my experience, and it's a form of attention seeking.
No, that's not what we're saying.
That's not what we're saying. But we're saying be vulnerable. Be vulnerable with someone. Be vulnerable with yourself. Yeah.
So people are answering the questions. See.
Oh, okay.
So what are they doing? Someone said, "Staying in my lane." Wow, ministry, staying in my lane, in my lane.
In my lane. Okay.
Culture plays a part. Oh my goodness, sis! Remember what I told you yesterday? So, folks, I saw on Facebook this man. This man who put up a post. He said, "No matter your qualification or how beautiful you are as a woman, without a husband, you're useless." And he used the word useless. I felt smoke coming out of my ear when I saw it. I thought, in this day and age, someone can still put that up. I just couldn't believe it. It was ridiculous. But anyway, embracing.
Be vulnerable where it matters, and with who can handle it. Yes.
Yeah.
Accepting that my time is not God's time. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's true.
There's this thing about time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And having self-compassion, having self-compassion and all of that. Yes. So give it a try. Try something different. Yes. Yes. Try something. Just give it a try. Give it a try. Finding and using my voice. That's so good. I love that.
Yeah.
Finding and using our voice. Yes. Yeah. Finding and using my voice. What is the voice? That man should have been exposed exactly for things. That's even abuse. Yes. Yeah. That man, should have been exposed for things. But apparently a lot of people responded.
A lot of people responded, and a lot of men responded,
Yeah.
I actually
yes.
love that.
Loving my life, gratitude.
Yeah.
So these very simple virtues, gratitude, loving my life, changing my life even if I don't love it. If there's anything about it that I don't love, then change. Learning to play the piano, like the guy I told you about. He's an investment banker, but he goes to the park and he delights us, with his skill.
Yeah.
Right. He plays, his clarinet, and yes.
Learning that every moment I'm here is a gift. I make the most.
It's a gift. Yeah. Great self-care.
Yeah.
Great self-care. Absolutely. And of course, you appreciate what we're saying. It's not about being, a narcissist, self-absorbed and all of that, but, self-compassion, great self-care, nurturing our relationships and all of that. Some of us, because perhaps we've been wounded in a relationship, we're very guarded. We don't let people in, Yes, it's not to open the floodgates and let everybody in, but, learning to trust again, taking those baby steps. Yes. Taking baby steps, learning to love, to trust again. What lessons have been learned for the next stage? Thank you. Yeah. That's a good one. What are some of the takeaways, from the past season and all of that? Somebody said, okay, Stabola, upgrading my sewing machine and taking up sewing again. Excellent. Yes.
Unlearning belief systems that do not serve my authentic self. Yeah. That's a good one.
So get rid of the toxic. Yeah. Cry. Have a good cry by all means. Yeah. I call crying the detox of the soul. Let the soul have a detox and all of that. Isn't it interesting that we stay hydrated by drinking water? I'm on this water thing now, And so what do the tears do? Cry. I mean, yesterday, I haven't been listening to the news because it's a way of guarding my mental health.
Yes.
So I can't feed on Sky News and CNN and all of that. I just snippets. It's just a way, because sometimes it gets too much. But again, yesterday when I was in town center, there was an old man, a European man. you know, and he was playing his accordion, right? And what he was playing was the sound was very melancholy, right? And as I walked past him, it wasn't even about dropping 2 pounds. I had tears in my eyes because I picked up in that sound that he was wailing and lamenting about his past. That was just the prophetic part of me.
Wow.
You know, I just thought, you know, he was weather beaten, an old man, you know, and all of that, and playing and whatnot. And I cried, you know, because compassion over, you know, the refugee, Ukraine, you know, war, you know, those, you know, just the ugliness of the world around us, you know. So sometimes, you know, and that was for me being present, you know. It was, yes, I was rushing, and, you know, as we do, I had my little list of my to do, but in that moment, it was tears, and I just thought, that man is playing his accordion, and I could feel pain, you know, and all of that, you know. So being present, you know, to the world around us, just in a moment, and all of that, yes, and to engage our emotion is part of being in the middle. Yeah.
Thank you.
Trust God like a child, somebody said.
Reflecting.
Trust God like a child. You know, jump in the rain, jump in the puddle. Trust God like a child. You know, go out without your umbrella. Get soaked.
When was the last time you did that anyway?
Yes.
Like we used to, you know, when we're younger, we used to do that. Just get.
Yeah, jump in the puddle. Allow your children to jump in the puddle, please. Don't scold them for getting their clothes dirty. Their clothes are meant to get dirty. You know, within reason, if you see what I mean. You know, rough and tumble. It's okay.
Loving who I'm becoming in the middle, and being amazed at how God uses transitions to shape our destinies. Yeah.
Yes. Being kind to ourselves.
Yeah. Letting go of the past.
Yeah. So we've done well this afternoon.
Well done, sis. This has been
well
good.
done to you too, and everyone. You know, all the contributions have been so valid.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could have captured. Let me see if I can capture some of this.
Some of the
Yes, this will be good.
So I'm taking off my earphones. I don't want to slap into everybody's ears.
Hopefully Tinika would have captured some of this.
Okay. I've been able to capture some of the thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when you save, it doesn't save the conversation.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So sing in the rain. Yeah.
I'm singing in the rain.
Oh, love you too. Well done, ma. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. So it's been good. It's been so good.
It's been great. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Bola. Lively and uplifting. Thank you. Yeah. So let's be good to ourselves. Where the trainers with you are shared be. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. Your first time here, Wow Ministry. Welcome and come again.
Welcome. Join us.
Yes.
We're here every Saturday at 12 noon.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to have you again.
Santifunke, are we, is it a wrap?
Yes, it's a wrap. Thank you so much.
What are you doing for the rest of the day?
Who, me?
Yes.
When I finish now, I'm going to do my eyebrows and upper lips.
Nice.
And then I have an event in the evening. Someone's
70th. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Lovely. Enjoy.
And you? What are you up to?
Well, I was supposed to be meeting with Pastor Pearl.
Okay.
She's on the call. We're supposed to have been at the Duke of York Square in Sloane Square. But anyway, we've had to cancel because, you know, we had other things coming. So I actually have, I think, oh my God, I have a free afternoon.
Ooh.
I think. Yes. So yeah, just enjoy the rest of the day gently. Maybe just go and walk in the park and read a book or whatever. Today's the 7th, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, and we've got someone on the call online whose birthday it is today. I'm just saying her. Happy birthday, Mary Godwin. Can we
Mary
wish
Godwin, happy
Mary Godwin happy
birthday.
birthday?
Happy birthday.
Happy
Yes.
birthday. And Bukola
So,
Yemi, I don't know if she's on. Bukola Yemi, it's her birthday today too.
okay.
Bukola Yemi, happy birthday. Can we wish them?
Pastor David, I have free afternoon, no, and I have jollof rice in my fridge. So I'll eat my jollof rice and then I'll probably walk. I'm supposed to be meeting with Joy later on to go for a walk, actually, around 3.
Oh, she's
So,
on, yes. Happy birthday, Bukola Yemi.
Happy birthday, Bukola Yemi. All those who are born in May, May is the best
Yes,
month.
and it's her birthday next week, Saturday.
Next week, Saturday is my birthday.
Yay.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Happy birthday, all the May people. It's the best month.
Well, I don't know about that, but
It's the best month. Oh, it's the best month. Happy birthday, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
And you too.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
Bukola.
Bye.